Alright, welcome to the um, more advanced OBS tutorial. Alright, if you don't have OBS software downloaded, the Open Broadcaster software, if you're wondering, you can go to obsproject.com and download the version for your operating system. I'll be using Windows 10 for this recording, so I would have downloaded this one. So I've already downloaded it though, and you'll see I have my OBS window here. And so we have scene. So you can see I can add and remove scenes. So if I wanted to add, say, monitor 1, then I could add monitor 2. So if I go to monitor 1, I can add a, actually I'll copy this. So see monitor 1 here. So I can add a display capture. Okay. And then I've got 2 displays hooked up to my computer. So I'll capture display 1 or display 0 actually, for monitor 1. And for monitor 2, I will capture, okay. So it seems that between scenes, you can't have the same name. So, and then I'll change it to display 1. And see, so now it's switching between displays. So monitor 0 has this one, and monitor 1 is over here. So I'm going to be using the monitor 1 display capture. You'll see that I have a red box around here, but it's not quite fitting. So what I can do is I can drag the little dots at the edge, and it'll snap into place on the edges. But you see I have a big black bar here. So, and we don't want big black bars. It doesn't look nice. So what we want to do, we can go to settings right here, and we're going to go to video, and we're going to go to change the base canvas and output scaled resolution. So we're going to go to, check this out, click settings, and then we can see display 0 is 1440 by 900. So just remember 1440 by 900. So we go settings, video, 1440 by 900. And 1440 by 900. There you go. So now it is resized. So if we drag this dot here, it fits perfectly. So now that we've got that done, we can explore the settings a little more. So we have general. This is language, theme. You can choose a dark theme if you want. I'm just keeping with the default theme. So, and then we have output. You can change the output to advanced, but it really doesn't offer you too much extra. I'm just going to choose simple. And we're not going to do streaming. I'm not going to cover streaming in this tutorial. And I'm probably not going to cover it at all. We have recording though. So we see we have a recording path. So we can change that. So I have a folder here called recordings. We can select that folder. And then recording path will now be in videos recordings. We can change recording format. MP4 is probably a good idea. It's a more commonly used format, and it'll work better with video editors. then FLV. So that's good. We can apply that. If we go to audio, we see that we have our sample rate, which is not something you need to worry about. We have desktop audio device, and it's set to default. So we can go here, here, and you can choose playback devices, and the one with a big check mark beside it, this one here, that is the default audio device. So what that's going to do is it's going to record everything you hear out of your speakers. So if you're exploring a build and there's sound in the build, it'll record the sound in the build, which is really nice. If you don't want that, you can just set it to disabled. I'll keep it on. Even if you're like watching a YouTube video, it'll record that as well. So we have the mic auxiliary audio device. So I have lots of mics on here. The only ones I need to worry about is this one and this one. If I had a different headset, then I might need to worry about this one. But right now it's set to default. So if we want to check out what the default audio device is, we can do that. Go to speakers, right click speakers, and then we can go to playback. Actually, no, not playback. Recording devices. So that's your mics. So as you can see, I have 5 mics here. I have this one, which is for a different headset that I don't have right now, and I have this one, which is a webcam. It's not recommended to use webcams for recording. And then I have this one, which is one I have plugged into my computer. It's a headset, so I'm using that one. You can see it's check mark, so it's the default. So that's good. So it's the default. If you don't want to use the default, you can just change it to whatever you want. Say I had this microphone plugged in, I could just change it there, and it would record that one. But I'm not. I'm going to use the default. So that's good. Click apply. You can go to video. You already seen a little bit of this. You want to keep the renderer the same. Um, if you have a different video adapter, for example, if your processor has a GPU and you have a dedicated GPU, you want to use the dedicated GPU. My processor doesn't have a GPU. I only have a dedicated GPU. Okay. There's downscale filter. You'll just want to keep that the same. Common FPS values. So if you look here, we have FPS of 30. By default we're recording an FPS of 30, which should be good. Sometimes you might, because what FPS stands for is it stands for frames per second. So every second it's going to display 30 frames, right? Because basically all that movies are is they're just a series of pictures. So it's going to capture 30 pictures every second. If you're going to be in your recording, if you're going to be moving a lot, or doing really high action stuff, you might want to set this to 60. So that's going to capture 60 pictures per second. Just whichever works best. Usually I set this to 60. But you can set it to 30 if that works as well. So we have hotkeys here. So you notice I haven't set any of the hotkeys. So how the hotkeys works is you can add a hotkey. So start streaming. So say we want start streaming to be S. No, we don't do that. So you can do S, and to stop streaming, we can press S. So that means when we're here, and if we press S, it's going to start streaming. Of course, we're not doing streaming, so we can clear that. And we'd want to do the recording if we were to do that. I'll just, yeah, I won't bother with these. You can also see here, switch to scene. So if we go back, we have 3 scenes. So for example, if we wanted to switch to monitor 2 for some reason, we could do that. And it would just switch quickly. Yeah, so if we wanted to switch to monitor 2, so if we look here, monitor 2 is this scene here, we would just do this and switch. Say I wanted it to switch to 2. When I press 2, it'll switch to monitor 2. And then that'll work. So you can play around with the hotkeys if you want. You can mute and unmute the desktop audio, mute and unmute the mic. And then there's advanced. You don't need to worry about the advanced features. You can also see here we have the time it's been recording. So we haven't been recording at all. So it's 0. You can see our CPU usage. So right now it's not using very much of my CPU. You see we have our mixer here. We have mic auxiliary. It's recording now. So you can change that. You can change the volume. That's all you really need to worry about here. So let's explore. I'm going to get rid of monitor 2 and get rid of scene because it doesn't have anything in it. And I'm just going to work with monitor 1. So let's add some stuff here. So if we see, we have a text. So for example, if we wanted to do IMT 8 class number 4. Oh, no, not that one. Class number 4. And we can even select a font. So if we wanted, yeah, oh, just do that. There you go. You could also do a outline, which I highly, highly recommend. If you're going to display text, always do an outline. You can also do color 1 and color 2. So if you look, this is equal to this color here. So we can do a light blue here, and you see it'll fade from white. You see the white here, and then it'll fade to light blue. So that's kind of cool. If you don't want that, you can fade to pink or fade to red, or you can just fade it back to white, and it'll just look like that. You can also do drop shadow, not that important. If you want to do it, you can. So, and you can see here, I have our text, so I can scale it, so it's really big. Usually you want to put it in the edge somewhere, so you can put it there, you can put it there, wherever you're not going to be noticing. See, so I've got my windows there, so no one's going to really notice if it's like there. Um, so that's text. So we can add another one here. We can do image, image file, so browse picture. We can do a Japanese painting here. So you'll want to do that, and voila, you have a Japanese painting at your disposal. So, and then you can just keep that there. Um, what if, for example, you don't want to show the Japanese painting? You can just click this eyeball here, just click that, and the painting's not there anymore. So we'll just take that painting out. Media source. That's not something you're going to use, most likely, I think, because the way it works is, yeah, you're probably just not going to use a media source. Not something you need to worry about. So you see we have three kinds of captures here as well. So we have display capture, we have window capture, and then we have game capture. So if we add a new scene, we'll call it window capture, and we'll add a window capture. Oh, because I already named it window capture here, so I can't use the same name. So if you look here, it's capturing Chrome. Capture. Yeah. So if it doesn't show up right, you might want to try changing this. So you'll notice here that it's capturing my Chrome window over here, even though OBS is in front of it. So for example, if you're only doing your recording in Chrome, this would work really well. But if you decided to move to a different application, it wouldn't work so well. You'll also notice that I've got a big black bar here again. So that's a bit tricky, because I don't think properties, does it tell me? No. Yes. So the problem with that is that uh, there's still, because I have the taskbar here, which is taking up some of the room. So yeah, so you would want to change that. Change the capture. I guess what you could do is you could go, um, yeah, 40 by 900. You could probably try like going by 600. See how that worked. Yeah, see, that was too much. So you could try changing it to 800. It's still too much. Oh, that's down. That's pretty good. You could probably change that. Change that a bit more, or you could just drag this out, just like that. So that's one way to do it. If we add a game capture. So game capture is made for full screen games. So if you were recording, for example, maybe Dimension U, you would want to use game capture. So right now I don't have any full screen applications running. So it's not going to record it. But because what you want to do is you want to check that, and then you'd want to run dimension U. You'd want to run dimension U, and then you'd log in, and it would automatically record the full screen application. If you didn't want to capture the cursor, you could uncheck that as well. If you had, yeah, you don't need to worry about Steam and stuff. So yeah, so that's game capture. Let's see. So we have video capture device, audio input capture, and audio output capture. So that's just more, but you don't need to worry about that either. So that's it. Thanks for watching.